Hello everyone, and welcome you all to another chapter of CapCut semi-advanced tutorial. Now this is chapter number 4, where I'll be showing you guys about color grading and using LUTs in your video. Okay, so once we move forward into our projects, where I'll be showing you how you can actually make an Instagram reel, how you'll be able to make an Instagram video and stuff. In that case, this all are quite important. Okay, so here I'll be showing you guys color grading and how you can actually customize LUTs once you downloaded that one. So we'll be learning about all of it here in this particular chapter. So let's not waste time and let's get started. So here, as you guys can see, now I'm in the same workspace in which we worked on in our last class. So I'll come here and maybe I'll just change the name. I will just rename this page as color grading. Okay, so I will just name this one as color grading, and I'll just save it right over here. Okay, so the thing which we are going to see is color grading first, and after that I'll be telling you guys about the LUTs right over here. Okay, so let's try to understand. So here, as you guys already know, I do have these particular videos and I also do have the audios right over here. Okay, so if you guys just look how this video looks right now. Okay, if you come here, this is how it actually looks, and if you come here, okay, this is how this video looks. Okay, so over here, first thing what I'm going to do is I am going to come here and I am going to put on some color grading over here. I'll be showing you guys different ways of how to do that. And suppose what I'm going to do now is, once I've selected this particular clip, now here you guys can see I do have my properties panel. Okay, suppose if I do want to decrease the size quite like this, okay, you guys can adjust this workspace as well. Okay, and here onto the properties panel, I will come here and I will just go into this adjustment option. Okay, so basically from here only you guys will be able to do the color grading. Okay, so now I don't have any LUTs applied over here. Okay, so for that I will come down, and once you come down under the adjustment option, okay, you guys can see I do have different things. Okay, suppose if I want to increase the temperature, you guys can see how it actually looks. Okay, if I do want to increase the temperature a bit, and from here I will just decrease the hue a little bit, and basically if you want to increase or decrease the saturation, okay, in that case you guys will be able to increase or decrease the saturation as well. Okay, so here you guys can see the changes on my screen. That outside part, it will just glow up a little bit. Okay, so here I will increase the saturation as well. And again, under lightness, many times we do have to work over here. Okay, so if you want to decrease the brightness a little bit, I will just try to decrease the brightness a little bit to give this one cinematic view. Okay, so here I have decreased the brightness a little bit, and here you can also adjust the contrast. Okay, so maybe I will just increase the contrast a little bit over here, and over here everything you guys will be able to see right over here. Okay, like every changes you make, you will be able to see here in the player media. So if you do want to increase the highlight, okay, you guys can actually increase the highlight. If you want to decrease the shadows, you guys can decrease the shadows. And let's come down, and here also you do have these options where if you want to work more on with the whites, okay, you guys can just increase the whites. Let me come here, let me just increase the whites still here. And if you increase the blacks, you guys can see. So I will just come here and maybe I will just decrease the black a little bit, quite like this. Okay, so I will come here and you can also just go one by one. Let's select 5 over here. Instead of using this controller, you guys can also manually come here and you guys will be able to put on all your things right over here. Okay, so if I do want to increase the illumination, okay, so let's come here and you guys will be able to add some illumination over here. Let's keep this one at 5. And if you want to sharpen this particular frame, okay, you guys can come here under the effects option, and from here basically you guys will be able to sharpen this thing up. Okay, so if you sharpen this one totally, this is how it will look. And let's just decrease the sharpening option. Okay, let's come here, let's just decrease it to quite an extent. And now if you want to increase the clarity of the image, you guys can come here and increase the clarity of your frame over here as well. Okay, and if you just want to fade, okay, you guys can actually fade this layer. So let me come here and let me just decrease the fade. And if you want to apply the vignette option, okay, you guys can come here and you guys can apply the vignette option right over here. Okay, so this is how it's going to look. But let me just give this one some dark vignette over here. I will just keep this thing one at 30. So I'll just keep this thing at 30. And this was about color grading. Okay, so here I have color graded this particular part. So I just did the basic things over here. Okay, so from here, basically, if you do have any particular number which is being told to you, or you already do have set that one, okay, so in that case, what you can do is you guys can come here and put all those numbers over here. In that case, you don't have to manually adjust those numbers over here. Okay, so now once you are done, you guys can actually save this particular setting as a preset. Okay, so if you just click here, and here you guys can see you do have add this one as a preset. Okay, so I will just click on OK over here. And suppose the one which you have applied, let's come here and let's just see. Okay, so how it used to look before. So if I just click over here, this is how it used to look before. And now this is how it actually looks. Okay, so it gives you a nice cinematic view over here. And the same thing which I do have applied right over here, if I do want to apply the same thing to all these frames of video which I do have here, I can click on apply to all and it will be applied to all the clips. Okay, let's come here and let's just check this thing out. Okay, you guys can see here also I do have applied, and here also you guys can basically see I do have applied that thing over here as well. Okay, so now over here, once you have done here the basics one, okay, I have already showed you how it actually looks. I have applied it to all the frames. And if I come here in the HSL option, and from here basically you guys will be able to change this hue and saturation from here as well. Okay, so if you come here, change the saturation. If you want to increase the brightness, you guys will be able to do it from here as well. Okay, and basically from here you guys can see now I do have the color curve over here. Okay, you guys can come here and you guys can actually adjust the color curve over here as well. Okay, so if you want to come here, if you click on apply to all, it has been applied to all the clips. Okay, you guys can actually do some animation right over here as well. Okay, so this was about color grading. And now let me show you another way of how you will be able to do the color grading from here. Okay, so now what I'll do is I will come here, and if I just play this thing, let's see. So here you guys can see actually this thing is being played quite nicely over here. Okay, so here you guys can see it's just lagging a little bit over here. Okay, but once you download, you won't have that particular problem right over here. Okay, so this was about this, and now let's come here and let's show you guys another way how you will be able to do the color grading. Suppose from here there is a particular part only in which you want to adjust. Okay, so you guys can come here and you guys can just check for these presets. So here actually I do have different presets. Let me download all of these presets from here. Let's go to this adjustment option, and from here if I want to put this adjustment layer, I can drag and drop it right over here on top. Okay, so I can just skip this one right over here, and suppose only this part I want to adjust. So now I will keep it right over here, and again come here into this temperature option, and if you want to decrease the temperature, so let's come to this option, let's place it right over here. Let's just make it quite blue. And now I will just do the opposite of how I was doing. So I'll just increase the hue. Let's decrease the saturation a bit. And what I'm going to do is I am going to come over here, and over here I am going to apply this vignette quite like this. Okay, so I will just try to apply it quite like this. And if you want me to increase the fade, okay, you guys can increase the fade over here as well. Okay, so here you guys will be able to see there is a smooth transition. Okay, so now if I just play, okay, so now at this particular part here, you guys can see the difference between frames. Okay, so it will come over here, and over here it will just quite change like this. Okay, so again, once it comes over here, okay, it will just come here, and from here it will just come to this part again. Okay, so this is how it will move on. And if I want to add this adjustment layer throughout this video, okay, I can come here and I can just place it right over here. So now if I just play it, okay, let's just play this thing right over here. Okay, so this is how it's going to look like. Okay, so for this video I do have actually applied this one. Okay, so I will just click right over here and play this thing, and this one is only being adjusted, or this particular adjustment layer is only being applied over here itself. Okay, so I didn't go or put in the whole place. So this is another way of how you will be able to make this color grading and stuff. Okay, so if you want to adjust this particular layer, let me just decrease the size of this adjustment layer, and let me just keep this one for a small part. Okay, so only for a few seconds you will have that particular effect. Okay, so here now if I just play this thing up, let's just play this thing, and only for this particular part again it will change. Okay, so this was about the adjustment layer, and now let's try to understand about the LUTs. Okay, so here you guys can see now, if I don't have any LUTs over here, I can just go to Google, and basically I can just search for free LUTs, and I will get a bunch of LUTs. So already I do have downloaded few of the LUTs. And before that, what you need to do is, suppose I want to put on some LUTs right over in this layer. Okay, so at this point you guys can see now I don't have any LUTs over here. So to import that one, I'll just click here onto the import option, and here you guys can see if I just go to desktop, or let's go to downloads. So here I do have few LUTs which I can actually apply. Okay, so I will just click on Ctrl A to select all, and I will just click on open, and here you guys can see they are just importing my materials over here. Okay, so they're just loading all the LUTs which I actually have over here. Okay, so I'll be showing you guys that one in a different clip. Okay, so let's come here and let's wait for it to get imported first. Okay, so once this one is imported, here you guys can see I do have a lot of LUTs which I can actually use. Let's go to the media option. Let's go to video, and from video, now what I'm going to do is I am going to import another video. So let's come here, and from here let's go to desktop, let's go to my resource file, and from here let's go to the video options, and from here let's check out this particular video, and let's just open it up. Okay, so I do have this particular video, and what I'm going to do now is I am going to come here and just place this video right over here as well. Okay, so I will just place this video, and right over here, if you want to put another audio, okay, you guys can come here and you guys can basically put other audios over here as well. Okay, so let's go to all, and from here, as I do have this audio, okay, so again I am going to select all of this audio all together, and I'm going to click on delete. Let's take this audio again, and now I will just click on add. So I will come here and I will just place this audio right over here again. Okay, so now I will just click on this option, zoom to fit the timeline. Come here, and what I can do is I won't cut, but I'll just trim this thing down. So I will just trim it right over here, and again I will just fit this to the timeline. So here you guys can see I do have this adjustment layer over here, And now if I just come to this particular footage, okay, as you guys can see, once I have come to this particular footage, let's go to this adjustment layer. Let's take this adjustment panel, and from here, if I just click on custom adjustment, so here from here, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put out this adjustment option, and from here let's just increase the size over here. Okay, so for this particular video I do have this adjustment tool layer. Okay, so over here now what I'll do is once I have uploaded all of these LUTs over here, now if I come here in this LUT option, okay, and if I just click over here, here you guys can see there are a lot of LUTs which you can actually use. You guys can actually see the differences over here as well. Okay, so basically you guys will be able to put on all of these LUTs. Let me take this neon one from here, and I can actually check out the strength from here as well. Okay, and there is another option. If you want to, suppose you already applied a LUT over here, okay, you have already applied a particular LUT over here, and you don't want that one. You want to the changes you made, you want to actually reset all of this. So directly you guys can come here and just click on the redo option. Then it will actually go back to normal again. Okay, so after that, if I just come over here and I can actually change the strength. Okay, so if I want it in 50% strength, or do I want it in 75%, I can come here, I can adjust from here. Otherwise I can just basically put it from here as well. Okay, and if you do have any human and stuff over here, and this type of image where you do have some animals or some humans, in that case you can just turn it on to make skin tone more natural. Okay, so you guys can come here and you guys can make your skin tone more natural. So it's quite an amazing option. And after that, applying this LUT, what you can do is you guys can come down and basically change this temperature. Suppose you want to increase the temperature, you guys can actually increase the temperature from here. If you want to decrease the hue, you guys can decrease the hue. If you want to increase the saturation, you guys can do that. Actually work on with the brightness over here as well. Okay, so let's come here and let's try to check this one. Okay, so if I just decrease the contrast, I will just increase the highlight a little bit. Focus more on the blacks. Okay, so I want this to go black. Let's increase the whites a little bit. Okay, so I'll just increase my white a little bit. Let's come down and let's just sharpen this image. So now over here, as you guys have applied this thing, okay, so if you do want to increase the fade, okay, you guys can actually increase the fade maybe till 50%. Okay, so I'll just increase the fade over here. And one thing you guys need to understand, that you are not applying all of these effects over here into this particular clip. Okay, so you're applying all of that right over here into this adjustment panel. Okay, so if I just decrease this adjustment panel, okay, and here I will just show you guys how it is to look before and how it looks now. Okay, so there is quite a lot difference. Okay, so here you guys can see this is the difference between this adjustment layer and all right over here. Okay, so if you just come over here, let's place it. Okay, so let's place it over here, and what you can do is you can just come to this point and you can just play this total thing up. Okay, so if you come here and now if you just play it, okay, so let me just decrease this adjustment layer a little short over here and let me play it again. So here you guys can see now the changes over here was quite noticeable. Okay, so here you guys can see this is how it looked with the LUT layer, and this is how it looks without any effect. Okay, so anytime if you don't want the LUTs, you guys can come here, select this particular layer, and you guys can just turn off the LUTs. Okay, so you just turn off this LUT, and over here you just turn off the adjustment as well. If you don't want the LUTs and the adjustment, you guys can just turn it off anytime you want. Okay, and again if you just turn it on, it will just apply the way how it was before. Okay, so yeah, I hope you guys have understood this class on how you will be able to do color grading, and also how you guys will be able to work with the LUTs. Okay, how to actually do the color grading. Okay, and there is no particular thing that you need to do color grading in that way. Okay, there is no particular number. It totally depends on the type of picture you are working with, okay, or the type of frame or the video you're working on with. So I hope you guys have understood this class on how to actually work over here. So I hope to see you all in the next class, where we'll be learning more about this CapCut. So I hope to see you all in the next chapter. Till then, take care and goodbye everyone.